Hi guys! So ito na. Ito yung van namin. So magte-take lang kami ng picture for their Facebook page. Toyota Facebook page. So, anong ginagawa natin ngayon dito?
So, pumunta kami sa City Mall at nag-inquire kami doon sa Toyota kung how long is the waiting period ng wait para sa isang van. Ngayon, last time nag-check kami mga 6 months. Pero biglang nagsabi yung mga dalawang babae na agent doon na merong dumating kahapon na van at walang may-ari. So, kung mag-deposit kami ngayon, baka makuha namin yun. So, cross our fingers, we can make a deposit and secure it and grab it earlier. So,
and apparently, we can get the van as early as
3 days.
3 days.
Depending if everything is good.
So, ito dapat yung kukunin namin. But, ganyan siya sa loob. Kasi ang plano namin, gawin namin siya for business tsaka personal use. So we decided na kunin na lang yung Hiace instead of that one. Ito na yung van. So, we're just expecting it. Nagbigay na kami ng deposit. So, ipoprocess na lang nila yung mga papeles para dito sa van. And then, within 3 days, pwede na namin siyang pick upin. So, ito yung sa loob. So, mga 11 seats siya in total sa loob.
Ha?
15 seater.
Tapos ito, meron pa ito.
Oh, ayun. So, 15 in total daw sa loob.
Kasi malaki pamilya pa sa Pilipinas.
Do you guys like it? Yeah? Thumbs up?
3 days later.
Yung Samban. guys. What do you think about our new van?
It's awesome.
Awesome. Do I get a thumbs up? Yes? Good.
At least we feel more secure dito, no?
Yes.
Really stoked today. We achieved such a massive feat in our journey in the Philippines. We actually got our first vehicle here. So for the first 3 weeks, we've been driving a tricycle, which is better than nothing. You know, it would have been really hard for us to conduct and achieve all the things that we achieved in the first 3 weeks, such as getting a license, getting a bank account, fixing a lot of things in the house, getting all the materials and food without a private vehicle. Commuting here is easy, but you still have to carry a lot of things around with you if you don't have a private vehicle. So it's very important to have a private vehicle, and having a tricycle it was a bonus to have that here at home in Aklan, and we're blessed to have that. But you know, in comparison to the vehicles that we've had in Australia, our Ford Ranger, the Volkswagen, the Jeeps, the WRX, you know, we're being used to having excellent vehicles, comfortable vehicles. So we had to get something safe, because the tricycle, I can ride it. Me and Michelle used to being in one of those, but I don't feel safe with the kids in it, because it's a totally different animal. Anyway, you know, it just doesn't have the handling. It doesn't have the handling of a car. It's in the open air, and you know, a lot of vehicles come very close to you, large vehicles, and you don't have much protection. It's very, you know, it's all metal, and if you get hit in that, there is no protection. There's no airbags. You'll basically be in a crumbled metal. So I didn't feel safe having my kids there. We rode it today. Hopefully it's our last day to ride it. It was wet, and you know, a lot of the time it's been raining in the last week, and we've been soaked. And we tried putting the tarp on it and everything. The raincoat. I bought a raincoat, but the raincoat gets in the way of your visual, and it's just unsafe from Australian standard that we've been used to for many decades. So I'm not saying it's bad, because you know, it's just the way it is here, and I'm not comparing it. You have to get used to it here. It's a totally different world. But I wanted to provide my family a safer mode of transportation, and so that's why we needed to get a vehicle. We're lucky to we actually went to Toyota like a couple of weeks ago, but they told us that the waiting period to get a brand new van, was about 6 months. So I didn't want to put a deposit and then have to wait 6 months to get this vehicle. And I was looking for a second hand, like even a 2020. The earliest, or the latest model that you can get right now, secondhand, is usually about 2018, which is about 5 years old already. So it could be, I don't know, they might know. It's just you don't know the vehicles here, because they have ways to tweak it up. So they could have wind back the odometer and say that it's only done 30,000 when it's done 300,000, because a lot of these vans, they use them for traveling around the Panay Island to the tourist destinations. So a lot of them will be very used, you know. They just have ways to make it look new here, because they've got a lot of skilled craftsmen that can do the leathers and the seats and paint it pretty nicely, and you wouldn't tell the difference if it's being used or not. So, and they can do the odometer with electronics. So I know that, you know, it's not the same as Australia, that a lot of most of the vehicles that you will get is legit. So I didn't want to get a 2018. I would have had to get at least a 2020. Now a 2020 van is about nearly close to 2 million anyway. So it's actually when we bought this one, and it's about 1.3, 1.4. Yeah, so it's actually cheaper to get this brand new van. The only thing was we had to wait 6 months, and I didn't want to do that. On Tuesday we went to City Mall, and there was a display of Toyotas there, and we just asked them, you know, I just got a second opinion of how long a delivery of a van was, and they said, yeah, about 3 months this time. And I'm like, yeah, that's considerable, 3 months, you know, because the kids don't go to school until August, which is, you know, about 5 months. So I'm thinking we can do that, but not 6 months. So anyway, we started inquiring on how much we needed to make a deposit and stuff like that, and yeah, it was affordable. So, but then all of a sudden they mentioned that there was a van. There was a van that arrived the day before on Monday.
No, they were told by their manager.
Yeah. So
they got a text message from their manager saying that there's a available.
There was a available unit van waiting at the office, and no one has claimed it. And I'm like, well, if I put a deposit in, can I have that van? Because I need a van right now. You know, I need a vehicle. Since then, we've been riding a tricycle, and I've been looking at Marketplace for like a secondhand vehicle, such as an owner type Jeep. Even we're looking at L300s, Isuzu, Traverse. We were also looking at Suzuki Carry, sort of type Jeep type private vehicles. But I really wanted to get a van because I'm thinking of making into or turning into a franchise, you know, tourist ride, or we plan to turn it into at least a private school bus or something like that. Anyway, we can turn it into a small business. So they said, yeah, absolutely. If you got the deposit, you can have this van. So I'm like, are you sure? Because I don't want to put a deposit and wait 6 months, because I know people are full of tricks here. Like they will promise you the sun, you know. It'll be someone, they promise you the sun and sell it to you, and then, you know, they sell water to a well. So I had to make sure that if I was to make the deposit, the only reason I'm putting a deposit is because I need that van in a couple of days. And man, they made it happen. This lady, shout out to this lady called Mary Jane in Toyota Aklan in the Mansha. Shout out to her. She did an awesome job. I mean, kudos, awesome effort, Mary Jane and her team. They made it happen, and they come up with the goods with the promise of delivering a Hiace van to us in 3 days with the freebies that they promised. We got tinted windows, we got floor mats, and we got the seat covers. The seat covers we got to collect it because I didn't have any stock. Or it might be that box in the back. I haven't checked. Yeah. But she also gave us some weather shields on the 2 windows. So man, she did an awesome job. We owe her a massive thanks, and hopefully, you know, look, we're not allowed to mention things, but we're gonna go and we really appreciate her effort. Anyway, we're gonna show our appreciation to her later and appreciate it. So to the people in Toyota Aklan.
No, Numancia.
Numancia Aklan, yeah. Really good. And
highly recommended.
Highly recommended. The people there, they explained everything to us, and they got things done as quickly as possible despite the facts. And what I mean by despite the facts is it was a crazy process. Like I mean, we have purchased a lot of vehicles in Australia. Like I ran a business that required vans, so I purchased a lot of commercial vehicles, including our own private vehicles. At least 50 vehicles I purchased, and it's very simple in Australia. You can get a vehicle very quickly, like especially like if you're going through the finance in-house in Toyota or Ford or whatever it might be. They're very quick. I mean, the reason for that is because I've got A1 credit rating, and I've got tax income. We've got we got basically a lot of good records, so it's easy for us to get. But also the system there, it makes it very seamless to acquire a vehicle. It only requires a sales guy, and then you go to the finance and they'll sort it out, and then you might drive the vehicle. They'll call you in a couple of days and you go and collect the vehicle. Here we were able to do 3 days in 3 days, and I reckon that's a massive feat here, because I don't think many people could do that, because the amount of requirements that we were required to provide was unbelievable. I'll tell you some of the lists that I can remember right now. So first of all, one of the hurdles that we had was the money. Our money is still in Australia, so we were waiting for a good exchange rate of about 37. When we arrived, it was about 37.8. As soon as I wanted to get some large amount to buy a vehicle, guess what happens? The exchange rate plummets like a and now the exchange rate's about 36. But anyway, we had to get a certain bank account with certain banks as well. But anyway, first of all, I want to give a shout out to our friend Aileen Fumaran in Morwell, Paraluman Trading. She sends money overseas, and I want to put a plug for her because she made it happen. We got the funds that was needed to make this purchase for our vehicle. So give big shout out, making it happen early this morning, 7 a.m. here, 10 a.m. In Australia time. We got the funds. That was one of our hurdles, because we also had to open a certain bank account. Like, it had to be the requirements. Number one was barangay clearance. We're not in the system here. So we're like, who are you guys? So luckily we've got IDs. Number one is our license. You need to get a license. If you want to know how to get a vehicle here, you need a local Philippine license. And we got another video showing you how to require that and where to acquire that. In LTO, there was a lot of drama. That was a whole day. That's another journey, and we've got a video to cover that one as well. But you have to get that license. After that license, we had to get barangay clearance. That recognizes our existence and our address, our local address here. Yeah, so anyway, to get the barangay clearance, what happened was the lady, Mary Jane, rang me and she said, you need barangay clearance. You have the number. Mate, I couldn't even get in touch with the barangay captain. No one knew his mobile number. Anyway, so I've worked out that there was Barangay Kagawads, which is his like little arms in the area. And I got in touch with her on Facebook, and we're able to, I was able to say, I'm here, and they know me because I grew up here. Like, they know me here. So they know who I am, but they don't know the Barangay Kapitan's mobile number. Nobody knows it. I tried to add him on Facebook, and it was really hard because I don't think he's old school, so he doesn't really do social media. Anyway, in the morning, I got a text message saying, the barangay captain wants to see you in person. So I had to rush and go there, I didn't introduce myself, but apparently he wanted to see me in person, so had a quick chat. I couldn't even find his place. Ended up going to his brother's place where there was like Dobermans and stuff. Anyway, in the end, we found him, spoke to him, really nice guy. Appreciate it. The barangay captain here, si Honorable Glenn Tabang, and we appreciate you, sir, for giving us the barangay clearance, and also at the same time he gave us permit for our business too, so that was good. We just had to pay a small amount, which is legal, and so we've already got our barangay clearance for our business. So anyway, getting back to getting this van. the money, we were able to get that. But the process, we also had to get police clearance. Police clearance. And I'm like, far out. Where did we get that? And anyway, Mary Jane told us that you have to go to the police station. We got to the police station and they tell us, you've got to go over to this other area and then sign these papers. So we went to this area, we had to sign these papers.
What happened was, we went to the police station, and one of the guy that worked in the police station told us to go on another building, which is like about
50 meters away from the police station.
Yeah, and when we got there, it's not like a police station. It's
private,
like a private.
It's a private.
No, it's more
building.
like a store.
Yeah, it's a store. It's a shop.
Yeah, it's a shop. Yeah.
It's a shop that
and
sells.
And then you have to go at the back, and that's when you do to register.
Yeah, you gotta register, and there was forms to fill. We didn't even have a pen, and somehow, man, we made it happen. This is what it is, man. Regardless, if you want the things to happen, and there's a lot of things that you will not want to do, but we made it happen. We still went there. We paid. We filled in the forms that we didn't want to fill in, and paid the money that we didn't want to pay, and we got our clearance. So that's one thing. We had to get police clearance, which only lasts for 3 months, by the way. Then we had to open up a bank account, BPI, BDO, or Metro Bank. So we were at police station in Kalibo. We look around and there was BPI. It was right like it's like 100 meters from there. So we went straight for there, and we went in and said, "Oh, what do you they asked you, what do you want? What are you in here for?" And we say, "Oh, we're opening a new bank account." And they said, "Oh, have a read at the door." And on the door, it tells you what you need. And you need some photos.
It tells you on the
door what it requires.
What it requires for you to open a bank account.
It's not like in Australia where you just show your license and nobody care, and they'll open your bank account. You put $2 in there and you'll have a bank account. Here, man, you required a photo, a passport,
gas bill,
and a gas bill, and a driver's license. Well, we went there anyway, and they said, okay, so you'll just have to get photo. So we walked like 200, 300 meters away, and then we got freaking photos done. And which it took about at least half an hour to get these photos done. We come back and we line up in BPI, and then only to be told that we needed some sort of bill from the house. Now we don't have
under
our name. Now we don't have bills because we don't have electricity bills here. It's in my auntie's name and everything. So I was like, nah, okay, well let's go to BDO, right? BDO is actually, we walked towards the bloody Tricycle, and guess what? BDO is there. So we walked towards BDO. When we got to BDO, go to this security guard, and they go, all right, so what are you guys here for? We're like, we're gonna open a new bank account because we couldn't do it in BPI without a bill, without water bill or electricity bill. So BDO is like, it's too late. It's 1 o'clock or something like that. 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, and it was too late.
You have to come back.
You have to come back tomorrow. And we're like, no way. So I'm like, okay, we're left with Metro Bank. So we get on the Tricycle, and we go to Metro Bank. And guess what? Metro Bank opens up. We ask the same question. We're here to open up a bank account. And the security points us to this lady. This lady's just saying, hang on a minute, sir, mom, and that. And we sat down and said, yeah, we can do that. What do we need? I just driver's license. So, guys, if you need to open up a quick bank account, I recommend Metro Bank, because Metro Bank is very fast with getting money from overseas. We were able to get the money from Aileen in about 15 minutes. It was sent from Australia. It was in our bank account. Metro Bank's, but to open an account there was very quick. They didn't need, they only needed our driver's license. There was no bills, there was no photos required. So very excellent. It was excellent. So
and they're able to print out our card the same
yeah,
day on the same
and we
day.
got like a full debit cards for ourselves, both of us. Michelle, we opened up a joint account, and it was immediate. We got these. We got these cards here. So
ATM card
ATM cards on the same day. In Australia, you gotta wait for this
for 1 week.
for a couple of weeks or whatever, and then your PIN comes in another day. We got this from Metrobank on the same day, just showing us a driver's license. So yeah, shout out to Metrobank in the Philippines. It's a national bank, so it's everywhere in the Philippines and very fast with international transactions as well. So that was good. Getting back to getting the vehicle, there was so much stuff that we had to sign. Me and Michelle had to provide at least 30 signatures each, at least. And we were told that it had to be pretty exactly the same. Now, in Australia, signatures, you just go like that, right? You could even just put your initials or whatever. But here, the signatures had to be pretty exact. So we had to concentrate. And if it wasn't exact, we were told that
you have to
do it all over again. Otherwise, they'll get penalty. They'll get a penalty. The salespeople will lose a couple of thousand pesos from the commission because they didn't do things right, and we'll have to do it all again. And it was such a tedious moment. I've never ever signed so much document in my lifetime, and I mean ever in my 46 years of life on earth. This was crazy signature time. In fact, my signature just got to another level today because I did so much of it. So I'm happy about that part. But yeah, anyway, I can't complain. We got the vehicle so much safer. We drove in the rain. Kids were so happy. There was so much room at the back. They tinted it for us. It's so dark, man, that it feels dark inside, even when it's raining. So anyway, we're not complaining because most of the time it's sunny here. So it was gonna be perfect. Because it's like they actually tinted the windscreen. The windscreen is fully tinted, so the people can't see you. Like when you're driving past them, they're looking in there, but they can't see. They can't see nothing. So it's awesome. It's like having sunnies without having to wear sunnies. So it's excellent. But yeah, very happy. We'll be taking you a tour of our new ride, a proper tour, because we didn't really get a chance when we was getting a handover. You know, we're still learning. I drove it home to bring the kids. It was already dark, and then I took my cousin Brian and picked out the tricycle. I didn't want to drive the kids in the tricycle anymore, so I wanted to drive it a couple of times towards Calibo as well, get a practice run. And yeah, very happy with it. It's brand new. It had 4 kilometers. It's done 4 kilometers. I don't think I've driven anything newer. Like when I picked up cars that are brand new, like the Jeep, I think it had like 15 kilometers or something. And even the Ranger and that. This is 4 kilometers. Like it's driven nothing. It's been driven nowhere. So like it's got plastic on the seat, and I drove it with the plastic on the seats, and yeah, it runs well. But yeah, so hopefully, you know, if you learn something in this video, and if you want to ask us questions about how to get a vehicle, well, we've just done it. We've never done it. This is our first vehicle that we acquired in the Philippines, and we were very happy with our achievement. It was a hectic day and tiring, but it's very rewarding in the end.
Damn.